Welcome back to Everyone Needs an Aquarius. We are back in the building. We only got like two topics, y'all. Y'all know, y'all knew, y'all look. That's what y'all came here already for. Y'all know what y'all came here for. But before we jump into the meat and potatoes, I want to give a rest in peace to the great Tito Jackson. He's my third favorite Jackson of all the Jacksons. Look, people always, I didn't like the jokes to be like, man, you don't be like Tito. You do want to be like Tito, y'all.
Tito stayed out the way.
Stayed out the way. And who raised the best of the kids of all the Jackson kids? Tito did. Tito had 3 T. Then the youngest one had custody of all Michael's kids.
Yep.
All Michael's kids. He was the most responsible. He was everything. And they owed everything to Tito. They always like, that's our dad. That's our dad. But it's a whole nother tragic story about their mom if you ever researched into that.
Yeah.
Their mom got killed by their next boyfriend after their mom got divorced from their dad.
Yeah, the next, well, not they, but her next boyfriend.
But her next boyfriend ended up killing her, like killing her at his pool or whatever. Yeah. And that was a whole salacious thing that went on in the 90s with that, you know.
I see. I didn't know the ins. I was also young. Hey, man. So here it is. What's going on with my charger?
Yeah, it's your thing buzzing now though. So whatever you did before, whatever you did before.
I plugged my computer in because I'm like, I thought it was charging. Listen, it's just chaos, okay?
There we go. It's off now. Whatever's buzzing is gone.
All right, it was the charger.
Back button again.
Oh fuck! God, shit, damn motherfucker.
How much juice you got?
Not a lot. Because I thought it was charging. Okay, guys, I am not feeling well. I'm under the weather. I plugged it in, and then clearly it wasn't plugged all the way in. So I'm struggling right now. Anyway,
you charge it while I talk.
I'll mute myself. Yep. But I was also very, very young when like when all of that happened, I just, knew 3T because we were huge 3T fans in our house. And so I do know that the mom had passed away and the boyfriend had, killed her, but I didn't know all the ins and outs about that.
Oh yeah, that was a big deal, man. When their mom died, that was a big deal. Like it was everywhere. Like all those, the Entertainment Tonight's, Extra, what was it, hard copy, inside, like it was everywhere because you got to think like this woman was just an unassumable woman that was married to Tito Jackson. And all of a sudden she's dead, I think, in a year after they get divorced. So at first people were like, oh, did Tito do it? Tito ain't do shit. Come on, y'all. It's like, stop yourselves before. But Tito was super dope of a person, man. Like from everything you hear about Tito, he always stayed out the way. He did what he needed to do. He was that glue of everybody like, hey, we need to get this together. We need to do this. We need to do that. He wasn't flamboyant and out there like Jermaine. Jermaine wanted to be Mike, so he would never want to play his position. Jackie kind of wanted to be like that too, so he was always over the top. Everybody was always trying to be Mike almost, except for Tito, Randy, and Marlon. But everybody else was trying to be Mike. Well, really, it was only 2 people, just Jackie and Jermaine.
I'm not gonna say they wanted to be Mike. I think it was just a level
popular. It's popular as Mike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm like, yeah, it's so interesting because
and Tito could play that goddamn guitar too. Don't get it twisted. People.
Well, yeah, if it wasn't for Tito, the Jackson 5 wouldn't exist. Yep. But it's so funny because I had a cousin because he passed away he got killed like in 96, but he was named after Tito. His real name was Toriano.
Yeah. Hey, look, Tito was Tito's my third favorite Jackson. Maybe close to like my favorite like Jackson. Like, oh, that's how you kind of conduct your life and do it and stay below but stay above at the same time. He still did his music, but stayed out of traffic at the same time. He wasn't. Never heard no drama about Tito. Yeah, never heard no drama about Tito.
And I mean, he like it's crazy because like it must have been like something like a heart attack or congestive
It was a
heart.
heart attack.
Yeah, I was like, because he was just out of the country performing. You know what I mean? So it just happened so fast, and that definitely was a shocker. I feel like the past 3 episodes, each week we've talked about a death.
Yeah.
And it's just a really, really sad, and like, life is about treating people right, being kind to people and whatnot, and just being a decent human being, and that Tito was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Tito, man. Rest in peace to you, Tito, and salute. My brother, look, some people can hate all they want to, saying that with the Tito, you don't want to be Tito Jackson. Well, most of these Negroes couldn't be half a Tito Jackson.
Man.
That's just, let's keep it plain and simple. Like, y'all joke about Tito. Y'all couldn't play the guitar like Tito.
Yeah.
Y'all couldn't just be a good man like Tito. You couldn't be a parent like Tito. It was a lot of stuff you can't do if you want to talk bad about Tito. So that is it for me on that cool. But y'all know what it. Ooh wait, y'all know.
Oh,
we can't fuck around.
I thought we was gonna start with the group chat first, and then all right, well, let's go to it.
Yeah, no, we going right on in.
Okay, well,
look, welcome. They ain't even let this man out of jail. This is a big deal.
I mean, it's like a flight risk. Like, I don't know why people are shocked.
I feel like he's legally getting policed now, because he's a what other celebrity would not be able to get at least bail? Like, they treating him for real like he Pablo Escobar. Like, no.
I mean, okay, so look, think about what we experienced earlier in the year when they stopped him at the airport in Miami versus, well, to where we are now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If I'm Puffy, I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what's going on in his mind or what his attorneys told him to do, but I ain't trying to be funny. Mm-hmm. I don't know how Diddy was even still in this country. Like, I am not, this is not a Diddy Puffy stand account for this at all. You know what I'm saying?
You're saying just logically. You're just saying logically.
Yeah, I was like, I'm surprised you're still here. Which also, I think, to a certain extent, probably in his mind or in his attorney's mind, if he would have been gone or whatever, it was like, okay, you are admitting guilt.
Yeah.
But baby, I'm Puff Daddy. I'm in a country where I can't be extradited, and I don't have no more business. My kids are grown; they can come and see me.
Yeah, I mean, your kids can come see you. That's 100% it. Like, that's how I was thinking. I think maybe because he's thinking about all his kids. Three of them grown, and he got them side kids too. But
but
he don't care about them.
All the girls are in high school.
Right, but I'm saying all them side kids, he don't care about anymore. I'm thinking about like the one he had and the girl with Atlanta in like the 90s, like the late 90s, and then that new one with the assistant. That new one he had on Carisha.
Well, did he have it on Carisha? He had that with an Asian girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
it ain't on Carisha, whatever.
Did he have it on Carisha?
He had it during the time they were dealing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, maybe. Yeah. I mean, but still your kids can come and see you. You know, you just gotta make sure you go to places that don't have any sort of extradition laws to the US.
Yeah, that fool Russell was like, I seen this before. I'm out.
And here's the thing with him, that's a different story. Let's stay on topic. Puff.
Yeah. So him, as y'all man, I've known the great Diddy Surviving Diddy. This got to be episode 35 at this point. We don't even know. We've lost track of the editions of Surviving Diddy. But Surviving Diddy, he has now been arrested and indicted by the Southern Federal Court of New York State Federal. So this is not the city. This the feds came in, the Southern District Court of New York. And I want to play a little bit of the press conference of the Southern District DA explaining the charges. People may not be understanding like what these charges mean, what they are. He gonna tell you right now exactly a breakdown, exactly what all the charges mean.
Let's go ahead and listen to the U.S. Attorney
everyone.
for New York.
My name is Damian Williams, and I'm the U.S. Attorney here in the Southern District of New York. Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity, including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice. Let me say a little bit more about the charges. The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years, and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of
Hold on, y'all. This is so hilarious, y'all, that he's using the term freak off in an official statement for a press conference. But I'm gonna leave you going. Just hearing that, it's just wild, right?
narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant. As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair. On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims. And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs, They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and light.
The baby oil thing, I know that's just...
Yeah. Are you ready to talk about it?
Yeah. Hold on. I want you this last part.
Okay.
When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up. They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened,
right here,
and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs' crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others to help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs, more than 1,000 bottles altogether. Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches.
They got the pictures
of
it
here. This is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well, we recovered 3 AR-15.
All right, we can come back to it if we need to, because they're gonna go to the details of like the gun stuff, because that's like a big deal with the gun stuff. All right,
start.
Yo.
What the fuck are you gonna do? Never mind.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's enough lube to last somebody an entire lifetime. Like enough lube and baby oil. What is happening? Like, and I know, like, people are cracking jokes about it, but I excuse me, I am genuinely concerned. And like, baby oil, okay, I just know too much gay information, because that's not like even whether you don't want baby oil in your cootie cat or in your booty hole. You don't. Okay, I'm done. I'm off of it. I'm done. What was happening? Because we like it's just like, you know, that this is likely very bad, because we're just getting semi-vague. It's not that it's vague, but we really don't have too much intel in regards to what was seen or what was recorded. It was just like, we got videos of these freak-offs. And that's it. But also, this goes back to that narcissistic, sociopathic like behavior we was talking about with, kind of similar to how, what's the dude that was cutting up people?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. Okay. So, when people kill people, they keep like prizes, like certain things from their
trophies. Trophies. Yeah, trophies.
Yeah,
yep.
trophies. That's what because you didn't think in your mind and not.
The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Boyz II Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
I'm just trying to make sense of it all, especially with what happened with Epstein and Weinstein. Are they Jewish?
Both of them are. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, those are very Jewish names. That you didn't think that you would be in the clear and that nobody would say anything about you at some point. So during that time, you would think that you would be cleaning house, but no, you were still having freak offs. But this goes back to what I said to you earlier about how if Sean Puffy Combs was solely interacting in the black space, because we know how this country and how the world treats black bodies, I don't think that this would be as big. But because that motherfucker was fraternizing with people that was high up, like the Epsteins and the Weinsteins and all those other people, this is how we got here. And this is not making an excuse. This is just the reality of the situation. But even still, somebody in your camp should have been like, hey, man. So I know you like to kick it. I know you like to have these freak offs. You like to do this. You like to humiliate. And that's a different kink where he likes to shame people. That's a part of kink culture to a certain extent. But the other part is that people have to understand the fucking law.
He understands the law, though. He just think he above the law. That's the thing. He understands all those things you're saying. He knows.
No. This isn't for Puffy. This is for the people that are trying to make it like he's some sort of martyr and like he was.
Oh no, I think people didn't cut off that.
Unfortunately, there are still people.
Fuck them. To be honest with you, fuck them. The feds
I know for sure, but it's just because I'm like, yo, like this is basic law. Like this isn't Copenhagen. Prostitution, like sex work, unfortunately, is not legal here. You know, outside of the OnlyFans and things like that, prostitution, all of that stuff is not legal here.
And also inducing people for drugs within prostitution is another thing too. So if they got him on tape, like, and somebody's like, no, I think I'm finna pack it up. No, come here, take some of this ketamine real quick. We finna go around. If this on them tapes, stuff like that happening, it's even worse because you're inducing and keeping them high to be able to have, sexual intercourse. Sexual stuff with.
And so one of the cases, let me pull this up. So don't forget, like in another suit, one of them named Christian, and people was trying to, call cap on it, and then they were saying that pretty much that, so when Christian was named, now it makes sense because now you got kind of like evidence to like back it up. And somebody, it was saying something of the sort, oh, fuck, did they delete it? See, that'd be the thing. It's like you got to grab the screenshot when you can because these blogs be removing stuff like so quick. And so, oh, got it. So it says Sean Diddy Combs' son Christian accused of sexual assault in lawsuit, and this was back in April 2024. And it was just saying that the suit named him and Puff Daddy, and the girl that filed the suit had said that the experience was sold as a wholesome family excursion, but turned into a hedonistic environment. The lawsuit says the suspected sex workers and other celebrities were brought aboard. In the early morning of December 28th, Christian Combs pressured, I don't know how to say her last name, to drink a shot of her tequila, and shortly thereafter assaulted her, the lawsuit says. The victim believes the tequila, which she says Christian Combs brought aboard, may have been laced with drugs, according to the lawsuit. The experience was so... Okay, oh, this was the same page. So, Sean Combs is not accused of sexual assault in the lawsuit, but is included on the allegations of liability, aiding, and abetting. Aaron Dyer, the attorney for Sean and Christian Combs, in a statement said to CNN, believe that the lawsuit contains manufactured lies and irrelevant facts, and they are seeking to dismiss this outrageous claim. So yeah. So for them to seize all of them drugs, and see, that was what the boy said, where the suit did sound kind of bloggish, where he was saying that's what was happening. I don't think that it is. I mean, in some of the stuff, yes, you could have found in Cassie's, like lawsuit, but ultimately all these stories match up at different...
You mean the prisoner dude that got the $100 million judgment?
No. I'm talking about the one where it was the producer.
That, it's my Little Rod.
Yeah, Little Rod. And so it's I have so many questions. Go ahead.
I can't believe. I mean, I believe we getting jammed up, locked up, but it's like they really coming after him for real. Like when he got that spot ran up on people, they must not have found nothing because they ain't got him yet. No, they was going through all that stuff.
People don't understand. It takes... Y'all see how slow the courts move in general.
No, but the feds go through everything. You see,
I know.
They detail with all they saying, like on September 23rd, it was a freak off 28. Like
that's
they
what
know
I'm saying. I don't know why people was expecting this to be overnight.
This ain't Matlock. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't gonna finish this up in an hour time block.
But also, just like we said last year, when we did like the back-to-back episodes that night, and then I said, oh, and you mentioned the New York thing, and then when we recorded our regular podcast, I said, hey, they retracted that. They said, oh, never mind. Like I said, that's a pretty big fuck up.
Yeah, now the NYPD got it pulled from them, and they gave it to the feds in New York. We said that.
Yep, and we said it was like something is off with that, and here we are. And it takes time because they have been building a case. And from the looks of it, this ain't starting with Cassie. Cassie might not have blown the whistle. She might have blew the whistle publicly, but how this moved and how quick that happened, and I
think the Little Rod thing was the tipping point, to be honest.
Well, no. Little Rod was this year.
Right, no. But I think that's a tip point for the feds to get real involved because remember he was talking about people getting shot and stuff. Remember he talked about how the situation with the dude worked, and they said that the dude said that when he didn't get shot.
Maybe they picked up some speed. But we knew last year that something else was happening for them to say, oh, that was that was an error, blah 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 blah, like trying to clean up their shit. And I was like, no, that's not typically how that works. Because they know, I was like, that's defamation. I'm like, that's a lawsuit in itself. And so I knew that. We knew that.
But man, it's... Oh, man.
1,000... Okay, let me let it go. I'm letting it go.
No, go ahead.
1,000 bottles of lubricant. Like you had a bunker of lubricant, pretty much. And that's but
it's the order when you went to the cities too. It wasn't just that was your home supply.
That's what I'm saying. You had a bunker of lube. Like that's you just really think about that. And ultimately, you know, where Lil Rock named Ethiopia, and you telling me y'all got people in high ranking place, baby. So here's my question now.
When they said, well, that later on, then in there they asked, because there's more people that they're going to try to maybe indict.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So is it a trickle down effect of where now other people, the people that were workers, all of this stuff, will they go after them?
Or was it a trickle up and they already got them people? That's how they got enough to be able to go get him. Have they already got these people already and they already signed affidavits and stuff?
Well, they for sure at least question the people that were in that Lil Rod case, and probably I don't know. I don't remember if Cassie's case outside. No,
they said arson in there too. So are they talking about Kid Cudi?
That's what I said.
But wouldn't the arson be out of the statute of limitations on that be like gone? I wonder if it's a new burner.
No. Well, he didn't press charges, but considering that it was shared.
But I'm talking about like the time when it did happen. Isn't it too much time to come out?
I mean, technically yes, but it's still it is recently it's discovery. Or
is it a new arson we don't know about?
It could be that, because didn't somebody else say something else was on fire? But also, this is all a part of discovery. So that's included because of the information that they could verify.
How did we get here where we have...
Your grandmammy said it best. He come from killing stock.
He come from killing stock.
Because here's the thing. Like, okay.
Is this downfall bigger than Bill Cosby's?
Oh yeah. Because people didn't fuck. You have to think about there's a group of people that didn't fuck with Cosby just based on his politics alone.
And he was an asshole to a lot of people too.
Yeah, you know, so a lot of people didn't fuck with Cosby like that. You know,
Diddy people didn't like Diddy either though now. No, don't
I mean, but no. But there's still a portion of Diddy. There's a lane where Diddy was able, you know, and similarly to
he did do a lot for hip hop. He did take hip hop from.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, to pop.
But did he take hip hop or did he take hip hop?
Both.
Because
he could do both.
Okay, he could do both. Because I was thinking that from the criminal aspect of it.
Yeah, he took it and he took it. He did
so
both.
I think I believe that there is a lane of people where they wholeheartedly you know, like fuck with. I was like, I look crazy today.
No. I didn't mean.
I was like, my skin's dry. Where they really look to Puff Daddy as this, you know, like pillar in their lives. You know, like a lot of people are just really shocked, and whatever happened, you know, I think it's just always so interesting to see how people abuse power, just from a historical standpoint, right? Because, like, you know how they kind of looked at what Marie Antoinette, like her ending up, you know, becoming. They buried Marie Antoinette. She's in the church, y'all, in the ghetto in Paris, by the way.
That's true.
That's a story for another day. Just know that it deals with a robbery. But yeah. So when you think about, like, you know, like even what was the other one? Like, you think about all these people. And it's just like always some sort of fall from grace because they get and they become too big headed. Because just like, and I kind of have a weird, interesting theory about the Bill Cosby thing. And we could talk about that one day, like offline. But ultimately, when you think about stuff in that era, you know, of Me Too, because that was more so kind of like Me Too that happened. So you had people being able to speak up, but then that kind of just laid the foundation for a lot of the stuff that we saw afterwards. He was the first person that they got for real. That was like a big name that was like at least front facing, because some of the other execs, we really don't, you don't know unless you're in Hollywood.
Yeah, you just seen the name Weinstein. You didn't know who he was.
Yeah. And so for us, then you got.
Is R. Kelly the first one?
Nah, because R. Kelly was still technically out when Bill Cosby the trial was happening.
No, but didn't Surviving Kelly start coming out around then though, or was Bill Cosby locked up before that?
Bill Cosby was on trial before that. Because it's the same thing.
So when did R. Kelly do that interview y'all trying to do when he was crying?
I don't even know what a hog tie is.
Yeah, hold on.
And I said, and see, I'm proud of myself because I didn't laugh today.
Hold on. So that year was 2019, May 9th, March 9th, 2019.
That's R. Kelly.
Yep, the interview with Gayle King is that day.
Yeah. Okay. So then he's still out. So when this Bill Cosby go to jail, because then they let him out. He was going to trial.
Yep. Let's see.
So it was like a little bit before that, and then
2018 trial, he was found guilty.
Yeah.
In drug unit. So the 2018 he went to jail.
Yeah.
And he got released in 2021.
Yep. Because on the recognizance of what the original.
Yeah, they messed up. They messed up. And they should have never really. Should have never.
And low key, he might have had some money in that and sue. You know, could have potentially sued, but he was like, "Fuck it." Like,
I'm just glad I'm out. Yeah. I don't even want nobody. I don't even want to stir up no more shit. I'm just glad I'm out.
Yep.
That's it. So yeah. So okay. So Bill Cosby would have been the first one. I guess the R. Kelly trial, the original one, back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But that was just a sensational trial in general. Or do we go back to OJ? Is OJ the first one?
Nah, that's different.
I mean, OJ was big, man.
It's different just on the basis of everything that entailed versus all of the it's layers to this. That's all.
I don't know, Dom. OJ was big.
And OJ was big, yes, I remember. But I'm saying it's this is on a whole nother level. This is like, that's LA.
Oh, no. I'm saying like the first one where we be like, oh snap, like this is the first celebrity big thing like that.
No, I mean in the sense of like how big this is.
You mean like OJ wasn't a mogul?
No, he was sort of, but no, I mean in the sense of how big Diddy is. Diddy's a bigger deal than OJ.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I mean. I hate to say that, but he is, you know, like.
But would OJ have been Diddy if he didn't go to do the jail stuff? If he didn't,
probably not.
He didn't get accused of killing his wife?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he just would have been. I think he would have probably been like a commentator, like a lot of the other people, or maybe done a couple.
But Diddy had a lot of money in a lot of places, a lot of different.
That's what I'm saying. So like the money, not even the same. Like OJ money ain't touched. Diddy eating it.
Yeah.
So I really truly believe that what we're seeing is just strictly based on, like we said, the connections, the rooms that he's touched, the places that he's been. Because I think if it was strictly black, I think it would have been something kind of similar to what an R. Kelly case might have been.
But since he's touching so
he
many,
he might have been able to still kind of get off on something. But yeah.
Yeah, but he was doing some.
Because like think about the 4th of July, like the white party.
White party is big.
Yeah.
Now you got the dude from FanDuel.
Yeah, Michael Rubin.
He
Yeah.
took over his white party.
Yep.
took his white party for that man.
And so I think part of me, you want to know why I sort of feel bad for Puffy.
Okay.
And I know I probably really shouldn't have any sort of empathy toward him. It is just strictly because of his kids. Because especially and I'm not even going to just say, oh, I'm limited, because he got daughters. But all of them trying to navigate a space and life after this. One, just learning this information about your dad, which clearly Christian knew about, and I'm pretty sure Justin, but I know there's a level of it where, like his daughters were likely shielded from that. And so to hear all of this stuff, then you having to go to school. Because they go to see, everybody go to Sierra Canyon. And so you gotta, what's that conversation like? Are people, not allowing their kids to talk to you, to hang you out with you? Well, her daddy, did he ever drug you? So then it's like, it's a trickle down effect. And so you gotta think about that. And then think about sometimes how people do all of these things to make sure their kids can always eat. And then what if they never are able, like I said, he would be an idiot not to have money hidden somewhere offshore somewhere.
Yeah.
But it is, you thought your life was gonna be this one way, and it's not like that anymore. And no matter what, that is always gonna be a stain. Like, this is when nepotism can fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the only reason why I feel a little bit of empathy, is because of his kids.
It's because of the kids. Yeah. I mean, but because you gotta think it's so harsh, man, because they don't have nothing to do with it, especially the young ladies. I would say definitely the young ladies, for sure. And they're young ladies, and you gotta think some of them are in high school, so this is like the worst time to be going through, this whole thing. Even the one Chance, I think she's like 18, like the other daughter that he had with the girl in Atlanta, the businesswoman in Atlanta. But even that, like, man, like, these are your formative years, and you literally went from, it's like one of those TV shows, like, I can't remember a sitcom. If you remember those sitcom, it was a sitcom, or I'm making it up in my head maybe, where like the family was rich and they thought everything, and then their dad get locked up.
Yeah, they got a show about that now with what's his name? Levi. It's the son and the dad that's on the show. Schitt's Creek.
For tax evasion, and everything in their world has changed.
Yep, Schitt's Creek.
Is up Schitt's Creek.
Okay. Schitt's Creek, yeah.
Schitt's Creek, yes. Something along those lines where your whole life has been changed. And now it's never going to be the same again. And people are going to be constantly, oh, your last name Combs? Your daddy happened to be Sean Combs? Yeah. Oh, damn. Like, did you see them freak offs? You be like, nigga, I was.
That's what I'm like. Imagine having, at least for the next.
Or and people can get even more crueler in high school. Hey, was you a product of one of the freak offs? Because your mom was up in them too, wasn't she? I'm just saying, I could see kids being on
but so that's what I'm saying. It's a trickle down effect, because think about even with this, how Kim passed away. You telling me you was being treated by, you had pneumonia and you wasn't in a hospital? You was treated by a home doctor that was like, it's cool to stay home? And you don't have all, like, and I know with money comes a certain level of access, right? But pneumonia, where you need round the clock care because your lungs are filled with like fluid and shit. Like that's what I'm saying. So then you got somebody kind of asking you questions about that. And so it just really is messed up. But then also you kind of got to look at it from the perspective of like this is what we talk when we go back to talking about long term, because as far as we know, he been moving like a mobster this entire time. And so yes, is it the potential there that he will take care of my kid? Blah 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 blah. What does that look like? Because you just thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about the bigger picture. Because don't forget, Misa was pretty much homeless at one point. And she got a baby with Diddy. So people have to learn that having a baby by somebody that is wealthy does not necessarily mean that you are allowed to be comfortable or that you will be comfortable.
Yep. And then everything will be all good.
Because we see it time and time and time again. It is the age-old lesson. Like, choose wisely and really think about that stuff. Because, like, do you really think that this person, there's nothing in some of these men that reflect commitment, family, all these different things that you want, but that ain't what they own. And then now you got somebody sending you messages that they slept with your baby daddy or whatever.
So now, since as we're gonna wrap up in a minute, but our final part of this, Diddy, I want to ask you this question.
Okay.
How much time you think he gonna get? Does he get convicted? Two-parter. Part one, does he get convicted? Part two, if he does get convicted, how much time does he actually end up doing, you think?
Well, the
early ballpark. This early, y'all. We have no insight. We just throwing it out there to see what we can come up with here.
I mean, I could probably.
I'm Doja. They sleep. Yeah, we part of Just Posted Podcast, man. The best show on this network. Come on, check, girl.
Seriously, man. Just Posted. It's just me and Doja sitting back talking about what the fuck going on in the world and the streets.
We said labor of love. He said labor of love. I ain't say that shit. Shout out to everybody coming to watch though, man. We really appreciate y'all. Holla at y'all later.
Hey man, this nigga just tall for no reason.
I'm gone.
And
Peace.
he do regular jobs. Don't forget that.
Do I have a New York, right? I'm trying to think if I have any attorney friends in New York.
You want to wait on those predictions?
Well, yeah, because each one is 3.
Yep.
So it'd be the prostitution,
the trafficking,
the guns, and the drugs. So it's the 3 counts.
I mean, I did the fact that they ain't letting them get bail. That's 5 to 10 minimum, right?
That's what I was gonna say.
They ain't even gonna let you get bail, dude. Cats get bail for breaking and entering somebody's crib and get bail.
So, New York sex trafficking and sentences and penalties.
Yep.
It's a Class B violent felony, and it's punishable by 5 to 25 years in prison.
Yeah, fine.
And additionally, the subject has to register as a sex offender.
Now, that's New York state law. This is a Fed case, though. So, what is the Fed laws on that? That's gonna be different because this the Feds coming after him. So, that's gonna be that's a different statute on that because, and he's going to spend if the Fed time. You got to do 80-90% of that jail time. You don't get no hookups on Fed time. Because the interstate stuff.
So a minimum, I don't think. See, here's the thing: is where they're gonna have, where the only thing, the main thing where they would have the issue is if it's proving if all those if some of those people were minors, which is what was said.
Hey, Aqualad, can you check real quick? Look up some of those federal doctrines real quick for us.
So, transporting a minor under the age of 18 for the purpose of sex trafficking could result in a minimum of a 10-year prison sentence. And then if the minor is between 14 and 18, a minimum of 15 years. And then a defendant who participates in sex trafficking crimes could face up to 20 years in prison. So it would be contingent upon the age of the people involved.
Does he plead?
I feel like, to be honest, that depending on what that plea is, if it's only a couple years, your ass is old, your ass need to take the deal and just register as a fucking sex offender, because why are you trying to fight it? Like, they got you on all this shit. You own the video camera.
That you recorded.
We got you on camera dragging Cassie down the hallway. It's no way you fighting that. Do I think people can change? Absolutely.
I don't think Diddy can, though.
Okay, there you go. I was going to follow up with that. I was going to say, do I think people can have a redemption?
Hell no. Because he had 30, 40 years to change his ways. He doing same bullshit he was doing in the 90s. If you look at all those other compatriots, some people will be like, oh, what these other people are doing it too. Not going to litigate that. They may have not. From all intents and purposes, all them cats got married, got girlfriends, got up out the game, and you ain't heard about them being doing no freak-offs in 2019.
Well, and also, you want to know the other person that's been sticking by his side is Stevie J. And Stevie J finally posted for the first time
What do you say?
in a long time. Just him driving down the road on Instagram. Now, his face not in the video or anything, but he probably, that he was named in them suits too.
My thing is, man, this is literally, Diddy is the idea of being the old nigga in the club. That's it. Think about none of his other compadres, comrades that are around the age same, we're doing the same shit he was doing still. Everybody else is up. Jay-Z up in the crib. Nas up in the crib.
Well, after Solange in that elevator, if I was Jay-Z, I would be in the crib too.
Right. No. Yeah. You 100%. But I'm just saying, though, Jay the only one that was hanging out with 24-year-olds. 23-year-olds.
And
dude, you be like, dude, what is wrong with you? Why you out there hanging out with these young people? Remember the drug mule dude that's supposed to be hanging out with him? How are you hanging out with a kid from Syracuse that's 23, 24 years old, some random white kid? Why? Why are you hanging out with him?
Yeah. Like, that's a little fishy.
It's weirdo behavior, man. I'm sorry. It's weirdo behavior.
It's like,
and it's not even a thing of sexuality either, though. It's just weirdo behavior.
But that comes back, like, I'd be interested when he died, somebody pick apart his brain and like investigate it or whatever. Like, he should donate his body to science, because I'm interested to see if his frontal lobe ever fully developed, because there's something in him that it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like you said, this person at home, this person stopped doing this, that person stopped doing that. Why are you still here? Why are you still like go to your go build the fucking science project with your kid.
Like, dude, why are you at the club and you got a newborn?
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this, because we sound ageist, right?
No, that's not an ageist thing. We can go out
but it's also,
but you've done everything already. Diddy have done everything already.
I was gonna say it in the sense of, I'm not saying that people of a certain age bracket can't go to the club. Like, I'm not saying that.
No,
what
he's going to the club with
like,
niggas at 24.
Like, you go every weekend.
He is, and he's going with 24-year-olds. Why you ain't at 35?
All his friends are at home,
and that's the problem. And maybe these guys wouldn't.
My wife said I can't go, but can we go to a pool hall or do something like that? Shoot some darts.
Like, man, dang, man, you coming to the free call? This how the call go. You still doing Hell yeah. 30 years running.
Okay.
30 years running of freak offs. I'm like, and then somebody be like, hey man, don't you think you need to kind of like wrap those
Somebody
up?
told him that and he wasn't friends with them no more, or he had them offed. But here's the question: was TD Jakes in any of these videos?
We're not gonna do it. We're not doing it because look,
Because have you ever been swallowed up?
I'll say this. That's a whole bunch of people scared around here with some of them tapes.
Yeah.
Look, first of all, if I know I've been around in some of these freakos, I'm getting my lawyer on it right now. Like, hey, feds, what y'all want to talk about?
Yeah.
I'm offering myself up. What I need this not to get out. What info you need from me?
Yeah.
I need my name not to be in none of this shit coming up. So I'm coming to you all with my hands out. Not my hands out, but like in contrite contrition.
Yeah. No, that's
what information
real.
do you need?
Yeah. No, and I think that's fair. I think that's valid, and it's just it's just a thing to rather be safe than sorry, so you're not blindsided.
Yep. Okay? So my name not in the thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. So that requires, if that's the case, do you think that there was like a log? So unlike, because
it's a log now. Because you have somebody from the Fed that sat there and was okay. That's John.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody, they got it all written down. They got them got them pixelated cameras that. Ooh, dang! Somebody's sitting there like,
Yeah, because that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, okay, so is there a log where they could go through? Similar to what they did, to like for the Jeffrey Epstein, and they only released a part of that. You remember they supposed to release that whole log.
Yeah, but there's the feds know everybody on these tapes. That's why I said I knew I was at his crib and there was some freak offs going on, and I know that it was. Now the question is the way you maybe get around it. Did all these people know that they were being taped at their own at their consent? That's where you might be able to get out of it. If you're like, dude, I didn't even know I was being taped. So them releasing my name,
that would go back to,
but that would be illegal on them to release my name because I wasn't, my consent wasn't given to even have these tapes.
Right. Okay. So, but then that goes back to, since we're speaking about consent, that goes back to whatever was in the NDA. Because
you think people signed NDAs before freak offs?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, then there you go.
So that's where it gets tricky, at least because technically, if you can't prove that somebody else,
but if the NDA doesn't say that these are being taped, is my thing. I'm wondering.
It would all have to be in that NDA. So it's like you signing a waiver. So there will be cameras.
But I can just see it and nobody talks about this. But him having secret camera tapes on his own, maybe some shit he didn't do.
Okay, so so that's the thing. Them having to prove if this was a hidden camera versus if this was like out in the open. Yeah. Which also will go back to, again, what is in this consent form that you sign, because that's pretty much, depending on what's in that NDA, you are consenting.
I'm telling you, I think they were hidden cameras because I don't see any major celebrity. I'm saying like a major person where they can get really jammed up. There is no way.
No.
Why they would sit there and let a camera be out there.
So that's the thing. I think for certain people, I can see how you could say, okay, this is a hidden camera thing or whatever. But it goes back to what we talked about. Trophies. So I could see potentially Leonardo DiCaprio, for example.
Oh, you say he sent you a copy?
I could see that, because that goes back to just think about the crime. We was just watching True
Detective. That's a lot of trust in the puppy. That's a lot of trust in the
puppy. But listen, you thinking about it from the standpoint, they're looking at it from the legal standpoint. Hey, we signed this waiver. This it blocks out this. You better believe some people likely, if you had a name, you got that shit before you went. and you're having your attorney look that shit over.
Damn.
Because this, like, let's be clear here. The freak offs are normal out here. Sex parties, all of that is normal out here. It's just not necessarily.
It's Miami too. Miami, Atlanta.
In any form of entertainment, corporate, like if you are a big shot somewhere, this is normal. This is life to you. This is just like Ob's Wide Shut. Or think about True Detective when it was a season with Vince Vaughn.
Yes, the second season.
Yes. And ultimately, this is normal. Motherfucking blink twice. This is normal to people. And so you just sign in an NDA or whatever, consent, whatever the case may be. And you're going to kick it. You're going to turn up. And you think it's going to be one thing and it's something else. And I advise a lot of people to go see fucking Blink twice.
Yeah, I heard that's real good. Good.
Mother.
Zoe Kravitz, I heard is a real good up and coming star directing wise.
It is, and it's dark. It is dark, and it's kind of. She wanted to. Apparently, they wanted to call it. I just heard from my homeboy that work in the industry. She wanted to call it Pussy Island, but they was like, no. So it is literally something similar to likely the Epstein.
Yeah.
But then when you learn about what the fuck is really going on and have, oh man, mother shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that would be the how other people can get jammed up is potentially on camera if you are seen administering some sort of cocktail to somebody. Because if let's say they called me and I was there, I was like, hey, I was sober. I know what I did. I can't speak to nobody else. To me, it's like deny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what people would likely be doing because they can only speak to what was happening in their room with 1,000 bottles of baby oil. So so it'll be interesting to see if they will probably be attempting to subpoena some people, but it's like you said, there are people that are likely calling their attorney saying, hey, I was at a freak off. This is what happened. I don't know. Like, what does that look like for me? Because it's not necessarily, I don't know if they will really be able to get the participants, because here's the thing. The sex workers technically consented to it.
They did.
So that's where it comes into play about consent. Because especially if I'm not getting paid out, why the fuck am I gonna say something? So you have that level to deal with too. But he for sure, we know for the abuse allegations and stuff, he went down for that because we saw that on camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. The question will be is if the video of the freak offs are entered into the courtroom. Is it exhibit A, B, and C? So which would be, is this a public trial? Are cameras allowed in the room? What's happening? Because then you're gonna have to enter that, and then you're gonna have to show me where you putting the.
Diddy going to plea? Diddy going to plea?
You're gonna have to, because
like I'm talking about the pressure from the other people too, for them tapes not to get out. He gonna have to fucking plea.
It's gonna give him life.
Yeah. No, I'm talking, or you might lose your life. Like all them other people, like, dude, you want to plea, dog. We don't want none of this shit coming out. Go ahead and plead this motherfucking out.
And that's real. That's real.
You have to do this side of 10.
I'll circle to, like I'll do some homework and circle to some attorneys.
Look, man, we'll put this shit on your books, man. But this can't go to trial.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
We can't go to trial with this. Do your 5 to 10. We gonna take care of you. You'll be all right.
Yeah, we'll put something aside and have it written up. And then
this shit can't go to trial. Oh no, what you talking about happening, dog? Hell no. We can't go to
think
trial.
about that.
What all those things you just brought up? I just made me think about it more though. He got to plead. He got to plead. You gonna have to plead, baby.
If he was my client and I would negotiate, I was like, okay, this is what they came back with. I can try to negotiate this, whoop to whoop to whoop, but I don't see this because it's such a high profile case really going away, and you risk again. This goes back now. It's no longer because it's no longer about Diddy anymore. Like you said, now you got all these other moving parts. Do you really want that out there? They already know you got 1,000 bottles of baby oil, so I could imagine the sex toys that are there on top of that. No, that's nothing,
No, but it's there's other people. Now you're involving other people with these
other people. Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, look here, man. Go ahead and wrap this up. Do your 5 to 10, and we'll, because look, 5 to 10 or death, maybe potentially. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna wish that on nobody, but I'm just saying, if you talk about supposedly high up people that are,
that's real. That is really something to really, really think about.
All right, Dom. Y'all, we normally have more of the topics, but this is too big. We had to do just this one for this. This is big. Y'all know surviving Diddy. It's always.
Oh, and quick before we end, we got an update from Kalina, and Kalina.
Go ahead.
And she's still standing 10 toes down. While her and Don might have shared the same space, that was not her experience. She didn't witness anything like that. Her husband was around. Whoop to whoop to whoop. So she still is standing 10 toes down, supporting Diddy, but also like her husband is friends with Diddy too. So of course, you're not gonna have too much happening to you, no fucking way. So, girl, bye.
Yeah, and he gonna have to cut checks too. He gonna have to just start cutting checks. He doesn't need to just get a printing press with his signature on it and just had a check come by and just stamp it. Damn, 10 mil, fuck. Stamp. Damn, 8 mil. Damn, 16 mil, and just stamp out all these lawsuits. Just get them all out.
Because even with the case that we talked about last week, he came back. Puffy and his people came back and said that they didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
Because he never got served. He was like, I never got served with anything. And I told you they were gonna come back after that. They did that default judgment, and so now you got to deal with that. So
surviving Diddy part 55 potentially. We don't know.
We'll see y'all back here next week.
Yep. Dom, where can people hit you up at?
Y'all can hit me up at St. Angela's on Instagram and YouTube. I had a restriction on Instagram since last October. They said I didn't run an ad properly.
Did you get it off?
I got it. It's no longer there, so I think I'm in the clear now. It took just pretty much about a year.
Praise him. Let's get you back on track. Let's get this back on track.
So I am just like over it, and I am happy that that's gone, because like I noticed that from that time of getting that little mark. It's weird because it wasn't like my account was restricted, but I just couldn't run ads. But I felt like engagement and all that stuff was really weird. And like I noticed that like my following had been holding steady, but I also noticed like a decrease in following, which could, people, you got to change a heart or bots or whatever. But now I'm like, all right, I'm out here. So that used to irk the fuck out of me. And I have been using TikTok a little more too, because I'm trying to get 1,000 followers on TikTok. Then you can go live and the people can donate gifts and all these different things. So I'm out there. So yeah, that's it. Y'all follow me, subscribe to my YouTube. I'm almost at 1,000, but that still means I got to get my watch hours. So watch something and
subscribe and watch, throw it on in the background while you're taking a shower somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank y'all as always. We'll be back.